shoeing. Hot topic in the horse world. Farrier trade is a very old trade. They were blacksmiths, and it's very passed on. You'll also see generations of farrier. So there's a lot of investment in shoeing and being a farrier, and a lot of people who have always had shoes on their horses. It can be really difficult to look at there could be another way until you really delve into the anatomy of a hoof. The way the hoof works, it creates a hydraulic action which pumps blood. So if you've got a shoe on it, it doesn't get that action. Having said that though, you're going to see that one of my horses has glue-on plastic shoes because she has such thin soles that they're compromised. So to every rule, there's an exception. When people get too militant about stuff, they kind of miss out on the exceptions. I do all this holistic health, and then sometimes you just got to slam with allopathic medicine. The history of shoeing is so interesting because they have found artifacts from 100 BC of plant material that made shoes for horses, of leather materials, natural materials. During Roman times, they had what they called a hippo sandal. And the hippo sandal was like a strap-on sandal because they took them such vast distances.
It's invented really for horses moving so much hard ground as a protective mechanism.
Have you come in?
The journey to finding Tommy and Jane of Hoof Balance and Trim began with the clinic I attended given by Dr. Thomas Teskey, author of Insight to Equus. My eyes were opened, the light bulb went off, and I made it my goal, after Dr. Teskey had come out and trimmed my horses a couple of times, to find folks in Florida who could do that kind of work, and that I had found with Hoof Balance and Trim.
Before I found Tommy and Jane, I only had farriers that sort of trimmed the horse's hoof as though they were going to have shoes, which wasn't working out. But he's got superstar hooves. But there's some horses that have some difficult hooves that really need balance. Do all 15 animals, they spend the night.
Their trimming work has been a huge part of saving one of my horses' lives.
Tommy did the rough end, and so now what I'm doing is I'm balancing the heels. I'm using that as my guide. The heels set the whole balance for the entire foot. You'll see how thick his walls are. All of this is an armor plating for what's inside. So this is the frog here. It's called the frog because it literally looks like a sitting frog. You can draw a diagram on the foot to tell you where to trim. The center of his foot is right there, where that axis point is right there. His coffin bone is shaped the same as the hoof.
Coffin bone actually is like their middle finger. So horses from the beginning us the middle finger. Horses at prehistoric times went from 3 digits to 4 digits, and eventually their bodies started to adapt. They didn't need all those digits. What you see on the leg there, see that little thing that looks like a boo-boo? Those are called chestnuts. That's remnants of when they had
Toes.
digits.
Yeah.
And there's something back there that's covered with this fur called
Yeah.
the ergot. And that's
So there's
another.
1, 2 right there. You
Yep.
can just see it's like almost looks like a nail right there. See it right there?
So it's from prehistoric times.
And then these 2 splint bones right here, there's one right there and one right there. So those are the finger bones. There's no more nail left. So that's 5.
It really is skill, technique, experience, but also intuition.
Art, science, and intuition.
Look at him showing it off.
I know. Take that.